Niharika, and today we are going to talk about the difference between the words between and among. Well, you may have just noticed that I said that we are going to talk about the difference between the words between and among. Now, I used the preposition between because here we are talking about a choice between two distinct words, okay, involving two distinct words, that is between and among. So that's exactly when we use the word between. We use between when we are talking about two places, two people, or two objects. Alright, so that's when we use the word between. We would look at an example that would help you to understand this better. I can't decide between the red or the blue shirt. Now you're using the word between here because there are only two choices of shirt, okay? You go to a mall and you select shirts, but you have here a choice of two colors, that is the red and the blue shirt, okay? So that is why, since there are only two choices, we use the word between. So when do we use the word among? Now here, if you see, I can't decide among these shirts. Okay, first let me explain you when do we use the word among. When we are referring to more than two people, two places, or two objects, we use the word among, okay? So this sentence implies that I can't decide among these shirts. So this means you've gone for shopping and you have so many shirts in front of you, okay? So in general, you have so many shirts that you're unable to make a choice, okay? And that's why you're using the word among here, okay? So you are talking about more than two things, right? So we would look at another sentence here. Fear spread among the hostages when they heard a gunfire. Okay, so here, again, we are using the word among because we are talking about a group in general. Okay, so there are so many people involved. So hostages is a number of people, okay? So that's why we are using the word among. There are not only just two people, there's a group, and that's why we use the word among. Now, if I was about to tell you a secret, and I would say, just keep this between you and me. So here I use the word between because only two people are involved, that is you and me, and that's why I use the word between, okay? Now here I have an example for you. There is a disagreement on this issue between John, Jane, and Tina. Now you would ask that there are more than two people here, right? It's not just John and Jane, but there's another third person, Tina. So why have I used the word between here, right? So let me explain this to you. When you are talking one-to-one correspondence, like you are taking names individually, you use the word between, okay? So here in this sentence, I'm specifically saying that there's a disagreement between John, Jane, and Tina. So we are individually taking their names, and that's why we use the word between. But if in case we were talking in general, then I would use the word among, okay? So I would have said there's a disagreement on this issue among them, okay? So hope you understood that. Like, for example, if I had to say that I am confused between the countries Egypt, Australia, and America for my vacation. So here I'm specifically telling you about the countries that I am confused. And that's why I use the word between. Alright? So I hope you understood what is the difference between the words between and among. So when exactly you use it, I hope you understood that. Now the words between and among also help us to understand the difference between locations and directions. So we have a sentence, we have in fact two sentences for you. We'll look at the difference between these two sentences. John walked between the trees and John walked among the trees. Okay, so what do you think the difference is? I'll explain you. John walked between the trees. Here we are using the word between because this sentence gives us an idea that John had a defined path, okay? He had a defined path and which was only surrounded by trees. So he walked between the trees, okay? So that's exactly why we use the word between. Whereas in this sentence, John walked among the trees. Here, among gives us an idea that maybe John was not sure about his path, okay? So he kept wandering around the forest, okay? So maybe he went here and then he went here. So he just kept wandering around the park or the forest. And that's why we use the word among. So John walked among the trees, okay? Now you might have also heard people using the word amongst. Do you think there's a difference between the word among and amongst? Well, there's really not a difference, okay? They mean the same and they can be used interchangeably, okay? So, however, among is used in more in modern writing, whereas amongst is a little traditional. It's a little old-fashioned word, okay? However, it is grammatically correct, okay? You can definitely use it. So I have given an example for you. Which smartphone would you buy amongst these? So basically here you have many choices, okay? Many smartphones in the market. So which one would you buy among these phones or amongst these phones? Okay? So I hope this lesson is amongst your favorite lessons for the week and hope you understand the difference between the words between and among. And I will see you soon in your next lesson. You take care and have a good day.